More complex sine functions. So when graphing more complex sine functions, such as this one over here, we shouldn't panic and we should just refer to our parent function in our general form. This will help us graph the function much easier. So what is the general form? So the general form is just like any other function. It's y equals a. This is going to be our vertical stretch. So this sine b x minus k plus h. Sorry, these should be flipped. This is an h and this should be a k. So our a, as we explained, is going to be our vertical stretch, just like any other function. And our parent function is actually just 1. That's why it goes up to 1. B is going to be our horizontal stretch, just like in any other function. So in this case, B is going to actually tell you about the period using the formula 2 pi over B. That's going to give you the period. So H H, just like any other function that you've dealt with before, is going to give you a horizontal translation over here. So this one has 0 horizontal translation, that's why it starts at the origin. And K is going to be your vertical translation. So this is just like any other function, and you shouldn't panic when you see this. So first thing we want to do is get our equation that we need to graph into the general form. So in this case, it's going to be y equals 2 sine. So to get into the general form, we're going to have to get this variable separated. And it's theta over here because that's just how you refer to some people refer to angles, but it can also be x. Don't let that trick you. So if you want to get this separated, you're going to factor out a 2, and you're going to get theta minus 3 pi. And you divide that by 2, so you're going to get 8. Second parentheses here, and then theoretical shift. Now, this is just like any other function. So you're first going to start you're first going to start by looking at your parent function. So your parent function goes axis, max, axis, min, axis. So using this pattern, it's going to be really easy to graph this function. So where is the axis point going to be? Well, it's just going to be 3 pi over 8 translated to the right and 1 translated up. So 3 pi over 8, we can count by pi over 8's units. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be 1 unit up. So here's our axis point. So our next point is going to be the max. Well, how do we know what's the distance between it's going to be? Well, if we look at the parent function, the distance between points is just 1/4 of the period. So in this case, what is the period? So the period is 2 pi over the b value, which is 2. And you're going to get the period is pi. So now that you know that the period is pi, the distance between points is going to be 1/4 of that, which is just going to be pi over 4. So pi over 4 is the distance between points, which is just 2 pi over 8. So we're going to have 2 tick marks. And that's going to be your max. This is where we use our amplitude. So we know that our amplitude is 2, and that's going to be 2 above the axis. In this case, the amplitude of the sine function is just 1, therefore it's just 1. But since this is 2, we're going to need 1, 2. And it's going to be at our next point, which is going to be 5 pi over 8. It's going to be over here. Then our next point is another axis point. And since we know it's going to be pi over 4 away, it's 2 more of these tick marks. It's over here. And we just keep following this pattern. Our next one is your min. So that's going to be your axis minus your amplitude. So that's going to be 2 down. So here's 1, here's 0, here's -1. So it's going to be pi over 4 is the next point. So 1, 2. It's just going to be right here. Here is part of your sine function. The rest of it is when you finish at the axis. That's when you need to finish at the axis over here. That's going to be 2 more away, and it's going to be at 1. Here's your real graph. And there's 1 entire period of your sine function.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any requests or video ideas, feel free to comment down in the section below, or you can contact us via our email address provided by our YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed the video.